Welcome to today's glute-focused kettlebell workout. Now, I only use two pieces of equipment, a heavier kettlebell and a lighter kettlebell. Both pieces of equipment were useful depending on the amount of sets, reps, and whether or not I was isolating one particular muscle group. So go ahead and grab those two pieces of equipment and don't forget a cute set of leggings, and let's get straight into this video. I decided to warm up with 5 minutes of jumping rope at moderate intensity. Nothing too crazy, just enough to kind of wake up my body, wake up the leg muscles, get the heart rate going. I think that warming up is crucial for any sort of workout. If you do not have a jump rope, I'd recommend that you hop on the treadmill for 5 minutes, maybe at an incline if that's how you're feeling, or maybe even hop on the Stairmaster if that's available to you for 5 minutes at a moderate intensity. So the very next thing that I did was a glute activation. And so in this clip, you're going to see that I'm walking from side to side. I went ahead and threw a resistance band on to the left for 5 steps, to the right for 5 steps, and I did that in a set of 3. And then I also went ahead and walked forward for 5 steps and walked backwards for 5 sets, and also did that in a set of 3.
Even though this step is not necessary, I find that it helps not only to grow the glutes, but also to remind myself to maintain tension in these muscles during today's workout.
The very first exercise of this workout is the kettlebell swing. When I first started doing CrossFit, a coach suggested to me that I set up like this, and it has changed the way I do kettlebell swings forever. In this clip, you can see that I set up the kettlebell a little bit behind me, then put my feet a little bit further than hip distance apart. And so just enough that I can reach through and grab the kettlebell and swing it up. I particularly really enjoy this workout because I think that it offers a delicate balance between weights and cardio. And also it just kind of fires up every muscle. So of course we're getting the glutes and the hamstrings involved, but also a little bit of arms because you're swinging that kettlebell through. Now, setting up the kettlebell behind you allows you to basically start your first rep with that momentum that you'll have throughout the rest of the rep. So I did kettlebell swings for a set of 3 with 15 reps each. For the next exercise, I did hip thrusts. I feel like you can't have a glute focused workout without hip thrusts, so I just threw them in here, and I also threw on a resistance band to increase the intensity. Again, you don't have to do this, but I enjoy having a resistance band, especially for hip thrusts. So I did 3 sets of 15 reps. Now, when it comes to hip thrusts, you really want to focus on driving through your heels and almost, I like to think about pushing the floor away. That sounds a little bit silly, but I think that it really helps me to get to the top. The squeeze of the glutes at the top of the hip thrust, I personally feel is important to growing your glutes, in addition to also throwing on the resistance band. So if you feel like your glutes are a little bit more stubborn when it comes to growth, go ahead and throw on that resistance band, and also maybe keep the tension in your glutes at the top of the hip thrust for a second or so before coming down and starting your next rep. I found that when I really focus on squeezing the glutes at the top before starting my next rep, that really helps to engage in the glutes, because sometimes they can be a little bit tough to activate. The next exercise in this workout is lunges. I feel like you can't have a leg day without some lunges. I like them because lunges play with your balance a little bit, and so I feel like it just helps to keep me awake and not too bored in the gym. So I went ahead and threw some lunges in here, also just to get the quads involved, quads and calves more so involved in this workout. So because these are isolating the muscle group, I went for 3 sets of 16 in this workout rather than 3 sets of 15, so that way I could be balanced on either side. Next exercise is a deadlift variation called kickback deadlifts. One leg kicked back behind me, as you can see in this clip, with the knee bent, and just kind of balancing on my toes there just for a little bit of extra support, but the right leg was really the working leg. And then I did the same thing on the left side, and I did on the right side, and then again on the left side for 2 sets of 15. I did a kettlebell deadlift for last set of 15. Kettlebell deadlifts are great for the back, core, and hamstrings. In the traditional kettlebell deadlift, both toes are pointed straight ahead. The kettlebell is just straight in front of you. Similarly to a traditional barbell deadlift, I did 2 sets of hip abduction with the resistance band on. Once you've completed the hip abduction, that is the last exercise in this workout. I hope that you enjoyed this workout, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.